This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in today's session, what we will discuss is whatever we have done yesterday, the extension to that we are going to discuss in today's session. 1 minute. Okay. So yesterday we have done lab, right? Extension to that we are going to do. So what is extension to that is yesterday what we have seen, if we have a 4 files in a folder, we are just waiting until 4 files are available, then we are running a pipeline. Let's say in same folder, if you have other files also available, how you can able to do this particular same scenario is how to ingest data from maybe you can say anything, SQL database to Azure Synapse. Okay, how to ingest. We may not have this much time to discuss both the things at same day. We will talk about how to ingest data from a SQL database to ADLS Gen 2. Okay, how to ingest data from SQL database to ADLS Gen 2 on multi-dependency trigger files. Okay, how to ingest data from SQL database to ADLS Gen 2 on multi-dependency trigger files. So these multi-dependency trigger files I am going to maintain in the blob storage. Okay, in blob storage. So in this blob storage, when I'm maintaining the multi-trigger dependency, yesterday what we have done, trigger files, there is a container called trigger files we created. Under that we have just to try to upload 1 2 3 4 files. When we have uploaded 4th file, our actual job is starting and it is checking all the 4 files are available or not. But now today case is in the trigger files container, we may have hundreds of files. We may have hundreds of files. How do you know whether your required 4 trigger files are available out of these 100 files or not? That is the thing we need to implement today. How many of you understood? See, people who understood yesterday lab, they can understand this very easily, but people who did not understand yesterday lab, it will be little bit difficult for them to understand. Any questions? Requirement wise, any questions?
Malay, one question. Like, can't we have a trigger, event-based trigger containing these 4 files?
No, that is not possible. So trigger, event-based trigger will respond for each event. Each event means for each file it will respond.
Okay. So at any given point of time, you can just have one.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Clear, Sai? And next. So
Yes,
can
ma'am.
I just go and do the lab or any questions? See, first thing is when I have given opportunity to ask questions, if you have any questions, please ask quickly. Okay, I'll consider no questions.
No, one question is there, sir. So as you were saying, the multi-dependency files are there. Suppose now today's session we are looking only for those files which can trigger the things, right?
Yeah, which are responsible for running. See, out of 100 files, we may have our only 3 files might have available. Only.
So are we going to compare the name?
No, compare name. How I am going to do? You can see now. I'm going to take those things. Okay. Now you will see. what I am going to do.
Okay.
Next, any other questions? Okay, fine. Now, how I am going to do the logic, I'll tell you. First, let's create our source, our sink, blob storage, Azure data factory very quickly. So you are aware of all these things. I'll create it quickly. So you are aware of all these things. That's why I'm not explaining anything. So I'm just creating server. Okay. So and database. Click create plus create. Click create. See if anybody is not having any idea on any of these whatever I'm creating. Let me know. Okay. So go to storage accounts to create ADL Gen 2. Advanced tab enable hierarchy namespace. Click remove plus create. Create it. Okay. Now come to here. Go to storage accounts. Create storage accounts. Cloud Pandit -RG3. Storage account name is Cloud Pandit. Blob 28. Cloud Pandit Blob 28. Click review plus create. Click create. Okay. Finally, we need what? Azure Data Factory. Very important. Okay. The scenario is very important. You need to explain all these scenarios. So yesterday's scenario you can explain. Whoever not able to understand today's scenario, people who can able to understand today's scenario, they can explain today's scenario because both are valid and very important scenarios. Configuration, configure it later, click review this create it. Creating, created. SQL database is ready, go to resource. So anybody have any table, one table with some data, give me in the chat window first. Set server file one. If anybody have any table with some records inserted, give me such type of table. So I just enable this particular file, go back, click on query editor. I also have shown you how to do same things in the Azure Data Studio. Okay. So I don't have any table. So let's say I'm basically talking about let's take one of the table. Okay, let's say some product table. I'm just creating this product table. Okay. So 5 records are inserted. Simple. This table I want to ingest into the ADL Gen 2 using Azure Data Factory. So first, I'll just create a copy activity to copy data from SQL database to ADL Gen 2. Come to manage, click new linked service. This is basically SQL database. Just connection. Created. Like new linked service. Gen to storage. So give the linked service. Subscription is this. Storage is 28. Test connection. Created. Now come to author tab. Create a ingestion pipeline. PL for data ingestion. PL for data ingestion from SQL DB to AWS data. Using what? Copy data. So click new. What is our source? SQL database. Source. This is the linker service. This is the product. Click OK. Come to sync. Click new linker service for Gen 2. As a JSON, we will write. Okay. Linker service is this. You can say product. So you can't import schema as this particular folder is not existed. You don't have anything to import the schema. That's a select none. Click OK. Okay, that's all. Ingestion pipeline is completed. Now we need to create a multi-dependency check pipeline. Okay, PL for multi-dependency trigger. No, PL for multi-dependency trigger file check. Multi-dependency
Malaya,
trigger
sorry
file.
to interrupt class. In the other group, people are asking for the link, Malaya.
Another group, they are asking for links.
CB28 team group, they're asking for a class link actually.
Okay, sure. Okay. Just shared. Okay, fine. Now, so this is a multi-dependency trigger file. This is the data ingestion SQL DB to ADL Gen 2. This one we are very clear. When this should call, when this should be called. So we are aware when this should be called is once we have all our 4 jobs trigger files are available in the trigger file container. Okay, go inside container. You create a container called trigger files. So container name is trigger files. Maybe under this trigger file, you may have multiple files. Let me show you. What it means is you may have kind of first 4 to first 8. You may have job 1, job 2. Okay, 6 files I have uploaded. Okay. But actually out of which our required files are available only 2. Clear? So how to write a logic today? In this case, how to implement the logic, I will talk about it. Now come to pipeline. In the same, you need to use a until activity, until all our files are available, you need to keep going. Okay, that's why PL variable for condition. Okay. One more variable I'll tell you. See, first thing is this is of type Boolean. Okay, first important change. Second one is I'll take one more thing. PL variable. I have to take it, not in this case. I'll tell you how to, when to take that. Okay, now PL variable condition is there. This basically we need to set this for default to true or false.
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 False. Now until activity settings. Very carefully observe this. This covers lot more things about the ADF. That's why this scenario was picked. So this is a until activity condition is false, it will come inside. You'll use same get metadata activity to fetch the files. Settings. So create a new data set for blob storage of type CSV, anything you can take. Okay. Get metadata, sorry. These are DS for blob. Get metadata. Linked services. You need to create a new linked service. Click new. DS for AD. Sorry. LS for blob. Okay. Use the subscription. Storage account name is blob 28. Test connection. Create it. Point our path to trigger files. Click OK. First as that selected, click OK. That's all. Now in this folder, what we need a child items. Take the child items. Yesterday you did very simple job. You used if activity and you checked the count, but you cannot check the count now. What you need to do now? Can you guess it? What you need to do now? Any guesses? What logic we can take it and do? We need to pass all these file names to the for each activity. So for each is going to pass all these things to the inner activity called switch activity. Switch activity will check for the conditions. I'll write some condition. I'll tell you step by step from here onwards. So new concept, okay? We have not discussed yesterday, remember. Till here we discussed. Now yesterday what you have done is length of that particular area you have taken. If the length is 4, which means all the 4 trigger files are available. But you cannot take length today because there are more than 4 files. Okay, there are more than 4 files. You may have any number of files. Okay, that's why what you need to do is you need to create one more pipeline. PL file availability check. This pipeline is for the availability check. First, how to check whether the required files are available or not in the folder is take the list of files from this particular multi-dependency trigger pipeline to this pipeline. How? Using the pipeline parameter. It should be array type. Okay, because you have array of names, array of file names and types, you are going to pass it to this pipeline from the multi-dependency trigger file. How? Use the simple execute pipeline activity, and you need to pass those child items to the file availability check. This pipeline you need to pass all these sub pipeline and content child items. Child items means all the entire area of items you are passing to this child pipeline file availability check. So all the files are here. Now what you will do, this area of files you need to take it. How you will take this area of files? Using the for each. How you will pass that area of files to the for each? Come to settings, sequential, yeah, items add dynamic content. You need to pass here area of items. Now you have passed area of items. Area of items means like this. We have something like this, okay? Not like this, like this. If you have more files, name is trigger job one underscore completed.txt file, job2 underscore completed dot txt file. Okay, cust1.csv type is file, and so on you will have. Clear? So we pass this child item, meaning this entire array we pass to the child pipeline. Now we pass this entire item to the entire array to the for each. Inside for each we have this kind of items. So those items I need to take one by one. Okay, inside for each I'll use a something called, carefully observe, switch activity. I will use which activity? Switch activity. What switch activity will do? It has some conditions. Okay, so we add cases. 4 cases we need to add. Okay, why 4? Because we need to check only for 4 files. Job1 underscore completed dot txt. Is it matching? Condition 1 is it should match. If so, suppose we have given job3 dot completed dot txt, it will first check whether it is matching with job1 completed dot txt. No, it will come here, it will check. It is matching with the job2 dot underscore completed dot txt. No. Is it matching with job3 underscore completed dot txt? Yes, it is matching. When it is matched, it will increase the count. How to increase the count? I'll tell you how to increment that counters and all. There are 4 conditions in the switch activity. What is the limit? What, Pramod? What is the limit to compare the case in switch activity? What's the
So
limit?
you created 4 cases over here, right? So what is the maximum limit we can create a case?
So I think you can create, I'm not very sure about the number, but you can add. Okay, you may not have more than 20 or 30 conditions, right? So you can add all of them. Okay? If you have more than 20, so that is not recommended. Now, how to get these file names? Can you tell me how to get these file names to this expression?
Item.name.
Very good. So in this item, you'll have a type and name of the file. So we need to take only name of the file. Okay. Now you pass result1.csv. Is it matching with one of this file? Result1.csv. Is it matching with one of these file?
Yes.
No. No. So nothing is going to happen in that case. It's another case. Job1 underscore completed .txt is passed. So it is matched. When it is matched, I need to go inside this. I need to do something. What is that something? I'll tell you. So now what you need to do is, first thing is you need to create a pipeline variable. One more pipeline variable PL for variable PL variable for count. Okay, just to count this. So it's an array. It's basically array type. Okay. Come to for each. Inside switch, what I am saying, click on the switch activity. When this job1 underscore completed .txt is matched, come here. Okay, go inside this and use something called append variable. Okay, append variable means what you are trying to do is using this counter, you are adding 1 to this particular variable. You are adding the 1 to this because one file is matched. You are adding 1 to this particular file. Okay. Similarly, when this is matched, job2 underscore completed is matched, you use again append variable and add one more 1 to the same array. Now what is the length of array?
3.
2. Okay.
2.
Same. So job3 underscore completed, you go here, add the append variable, come to here, you add this counter, add the 1 to it. Go back. Job4 underscore completed .txt. You bring the append variable activity variables. So this is a counter, you increase the 1. Got it? Now, once the entire for each is completed, for each got 100 files. So for each will check out of 100 files, my required 4 files are available. If 4 files are available, my variable length is going to be 4. If the 4 files are not available, my variable length is going to be what? Less than or greater than 4. So now you need to use if activity here to check the condition. How the condition we are going to check is, so through the variable, this counter of this variable, right? So you need to check the length of this variable is equal to 4. If it is equals to 4, okay, if it is equals to 4, see the counter of this counter variable of type array, right? Array length must be 4. If it is equal to 4, then there is no problem. If it is not equal to 4, if it is equal to 4 means all the required files are available. If it is not equal to 4 means all the required files are not available. Let's say if all the 4 files are available, if all the 4 files are available, okay, if all the 4 files are available, condition is true. If the condition is true, don't do anything. Pipeline, sub pipeline will be successful. If the sub pipeline is successful, your parent pipeline also will be successful. Okay, this execute pipeline activity is also successful. When this execute pipeline activity is also successful, I'll use a set variable activity here to set on success of this. On success of this, I'll set the conditional statement to true, because if sub pipeline is succeeded means all our conditions are true. Let's say if the condition is false, if it is not equal to 4, go to false. You make this pipeline to fail using the fail activity. You have something called fail activity to fail the pipeline. Okay, all files are not found. 400 error code is 400 something. Okay, fail activity is used to fail any pipeline. Okay, I am using the fail activity basically to fail all the files. All files are not found. Error code is 400. Okay, what happens if the file count is matched? This pipeline will be successful, and this will be the status of this activity will be successful if it is a sub pipeline is succeeded. If this is succeeded, I am setting the until activity to true. Until activity condition to true. When this until activity is true, I'm going to use, yeah, that code you can use, Chandu. That is fine. Okay. So execute pipeline activity you can just use here. And here what you can do, this execute pipeline activity basically calls the data ingestion job. I know, not easy. Okay, I know, not easy. I'll explain one more time, slowly, one by one. Give me a minute. Just connect my charger and just to take some breath meantime. Okay, so let me start. Any questions in the data ingestion pipeline? Please respond.
So one question, because you are taking variable length as a 1 and at the last, the final, you are comparing with 4. So how you are doing that? You are summing up or?
No, length, because it's a array variable, right? It's a array variable. Whether you are adding 1 or 2 doesn't matter. So to the array variable, array means a equal to like this. We created and we added 1 to it. Next we added one more one. Next we added one more one. Next we added one more one.
Oh, in array we are storing those values. Okay, okay. Now we are comparing the length of, okay, it compare the this array length. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Any questions? Yeah, first to ask all the general questions, whatever you have, then I'll take through the pipeline by pipeline. So yeah, if anybody have any questions in between, you understood everything, you got somewhere, you got stuck somewhere, something like that, you ask, I'll clarify those things, then I'll go pipeline by pipeline.
Malay, like yesterday, in yesterday's session, like you actually waited for some time, like 120 seconds or 2 minutes, if you did not find the files in that block folder. So
Yeah,
this time,
good. Today also we need to do that, I forgot. So we are failing. What happens after pipeline is failed? So don't fail the pipeline immediately. You just wait for some time and fail it. The reason is if it is failed, it will not run other activities, right? First you wait for a, see in our case, we are waiting for a some time, okay? So what you can do, you wait for the 60 seconds. If the file count is not matched, you wait for 1 minute and fail it. If it is failed, so this, where is that? Yeah, insert until, right? So this execute pipeline activity status will be failed. If this is failed, the variable will be remain set it to the false, meaning until activity has to re-execute again. Again, it will pick the files, it will pass it to the again sub pipeline to check the files. Okay. First use wait activity, then you use the fail activity. Clear? Yeah, very good. Next. Next. Okay, so if no questions, I'll go one by one. First, ingestion pipeline. Anybody have any doubts? Respond quickly, please. Okay, I hope no questions. Now in multi-dependency trigger file, simple, you already have seen. Until activity we are using to check whether all these the condition is set to false or true. Set it to false, meaning until activity will come out only if the condition is true, but in this case it's a false. Go insert until. So get metadata basically bringing the list of chocolates. You have a different types of chocolates. You take all these chocolates, give it to the sub pipeline. You pass all those chocolates as a list of chocolates. That's why array. Array means list, right? List or array, both are same. Array of chocolates. You are passing all the chocolate of items to the sub pipeline using the pipeline parameter. Okay, pipeline parameter. This pipeline parameter chocolate list I am passing to sub pipeline for each. So in this we have a items like this. This is one chocolate type, this is another chocolate type, and so on. Now go inside this for each. I'm using switch condition. Item.name. I'm taking only name of the file. File name I'm taking from each item, and I'm matching with one of these condition. Wherever it is matched, count will be increased. How? We just created a one variable. We created a one variable called count variable we created. That counter variable we are increasing whenever the condition is matched. Whenever the condition is matched, you see, using append variable we are adding 1 to the counter. Okay, so what happens, this counter will be array, right? Array means like this will be there. So to this array I'm just adding first one. First file is matched, next one more file is matched, I'm adding one more. Append means what? Append means you are keep on adding one more one to it. Okay, again if one more is matched, so now we are looking for 4 files checked. So that's why I just outputted the count, whether the counter, this counter length is equal to 4. This counter length is 4. If the condition is true, nothing will happen, pipeline will be successful. When pipeline is successful, this activity will be successful. In that case, I'm using a set variable activity to set this condition to true. This condition to true. If this particular thing, if the condition is false, I'm waiting for 1 minute, then I'm making this pipeline fail. When the sub pipeline is failed, this execute pipeline activity will be failed. If it is failed, you are not setting any variable. Again, until activity will call the get metadata. Again, it will be called. Again, it will check for the files. When everything is available, if it is succeeded, set variable activity condition will be true. If this condition is true until activity will be successful, it calls the execute pipeline activity, which calls the data ingestion pipeline. So your real-time pipelines will be something like this. Okay, there will be some confusion will be there because you are seeing all these things now only, right? Earlier we have seen calling one pipeline from another, but here today you are calling from this pipeline, you are calling to other pipelines because there is no other way. You can't do anything. Okay, you need to implement like this only in real time. Okay, any
So
question?
one question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Malay.
this if
One
we
by
are
one.
passing that file actually and file 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have only file 1, 4 replicas, means duplicate files are there. In that case, means count will I get 4 actually, but that file is duplicate.
Wait. Duplicate file, is it possible to upload in a storage container? Try it. Let me show you.
Okay.
What it will tell you. You see here, example job on underscore completed. What it is saying?
Okay.
Overwrite if file already exists. If you want to overwrite, you can overwrite. Okay. One more small change I'll do, then I'll take your questions because maybe you may ask questions on that table, right? In get metadata, yesterday we have seen one more scenario. We need to take only the files which are updated today, right? So that's why format date TC now. I'm taking in y mm and dd. Okay, click OK. Yeah, you can ask any questions now. Can we create a trigger file at last saying the entire job is completed? Can we create a trigger file at last? Yeah, if you want to create one trigger file, you can create it. Not a problem. Yes, next.
So Malli, we have set array length as 4. It is a static, right? So can we set dynamic value for that?
You can set dynamic value. Maybe you can just pass that value through the pipeline parameters, or you can just do it dynamically if you want to make it as a dynamic.
Okay.
One question, Malaya. In this scenario, no need to create any triggers and all, right? Automatically, four files are placed in the folder, then the pipeline will trigger, right?
But when this pipeline should be called, see, this is our main pipeline, right? Until activity. This is our main pipeline. When this main pipeline should be called, yesterday we discussed one more scenario. Our last job, when our last job is placed with the trigger file, based on that trigger file, we can create a event-based trigger. Okay. So similarly, today also we need to create a event-based trigger for this particular main pipeline because we need to decide when to run this, right?
Yeah, correct. Yes. Yeah, got it.
See, people who are joined today, they may not understand everything. So rest of the people, please try to understand. People who are not able to understand today's session, they need to go through the yesterday session as well. Can we get it?
Malaya, instead of
so because we know those 4 files are placing the trigger files with the same name. They are not going to put with a different names. They are going to put the files with the same name. Those are not a data files. Those are simply a success files. Okay, job 1 successfully completed. So if the job 1 is successfully completed, they are placing that file. Okay, Ravi, clear? Ravi, clear? Yes, go on. Rest of the Sharon, please go on.
Malaya, I have
Yeah,
a
yes.
question. like we have that variable array variable where we have incremented its length, appended one. If I'm taking a integer variable, how will I increment the value in switch condition?
Tomorrow you will come to know, because in the REST API I will show you. In the REST API, what you need to do is you need to increment the pagination 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So how to increment, I'll explain tomorrow, because I don't want to confuse today. So tomorrow session you will come to that set, because you cannot increment the same variable. You need to use some temporary variables, because self-referencing. See, this will not work in the Azure Data Factory. A equal to A plus 10. Already example A equal to 1 you have. A equal to A plus 10 will not work, because you are taking A value, adding something, reassigning to the same A. Self-referencing value is not going to work in ADO. So that's why you need to take one more variable called temporary variable B. Then once we assign 1 plus 10, 11 to the B, that 11 you need to assign back to the A. So this is how you need to implement that. Got it? So, but this you will see tomorrow using REST API when we are fetching the data, how to implement all these things. I'll discuss tomorrow.
Okay.
I said basically I'm supposed to take the REST API today, but yesterday somebody asked this good question, so that's why I've taken this lab.
Malaya, Chinmay here.
Yeah.
Right now, what we did actually hard-coded all the files name within the loop, right? For each loop and switch statement, right? Is it possible, just this what we are doing, we're just checking whether that file is exist or not, then we're actually appending a number to the array, right? Is it possible we can transfer this load to a SQL SQL procedure where it will go and check if the file is present or not, then we can pass the output as 1 2 3 4 5, so that we'll not have a child pipeline. Just so it makes a bit a complex flow, right?
I'll tell
Is
you.
it possible?
So instead of going to the stored procedure, all those things, you no need to. Basically, you can also do one more thing, that is so basically why I'm going like this, because you no need to do that much dynamic, because trigger file names are fixed. So when you are changing the trigger file names, you also can change the count of that value, meaning these two are dependent. So when you are changing the trigger file name, the count also you can change. When you are changing the count, trigger file names also you can change. So that's why I am just hard coding. But if you want to make everything dynamic, I want to pass the which trigger files, the count, all those things. You can pass them through any property file or kind of a lookup file or metadata file, or you can pass them through any SQL Server table. Here itself, what you can do, okay, in the get metadata, you take some if condition. Okay, you can take some if condition. Example I'm showing you. Other people don't confuse. Okay, so here itself, there is something called contains. What is this contains? You see here.
Yeah.
So contains means you just create a one area of files. Okay, that area of files. Out of those area of files, these 4 files are available or not, you check. Out of those 100 files, if these 4 files are available, condition will be true. If these 4 files are not available, the condition will be false. If one file is also missed, the condition will be false. You can also do using the contains.
We can
So
put a
in this
or
case, what you
condition
can
and
do,
contents, right? We can put or condition and check contents, or and
yes,
condition. I think, yeah, for and condition. Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah. Is there any way I can check the output of a stored procedure? Suppose I have a procedure and I ask the
the
procedure to
output of stored
execute the.
procedure, if you want to take it, you need to use a lookup activity to execute the stored procedure. You can see here, there is a lookup. Okay, so here in this lookup, basically if you are choosing the database, see here you'll have a stored procedure. Okay, use this lookup stored procedure activity and execute stored procedure. You will be able to see the stored procedure output. Okay,
Thank you. Got it.
using stored procedure activity you will not get that, but using lookup you will get the output of stored procedure. Next.
Okay.
Next.
Malaya,
Yes,
If the
Prasad.
4 files are matching, the condition will be true, right?
Yes.
Then the pipeline will execute and it will copy the data from source to
Correct.
sink.
Exactly.
But we need to add the new files, right? Not the existing matching files, right?
New files means?
We are already having that existing job for 4 job files, but when the new files added, we need to copy that files, right?
Yes, new file. That's why I said only today files. Filter by last modified start time. Only today, whatever files are modified in the trigger file container, you take only those files. Out of which you see job 1, job 2 only are there. Job 3, job 4 are not there.
Okay. Filter condition.
I am going to create a now event based trigger which points to the job 4 underscore completed.txt. When job 4 underscore completed.txt is uploaded, then our pipeline will run. Our pipeline basically call this pipeline. Okay, let me just create now. So event grid you need to enable. I hope everybody know. Yesterday also I've shown, and when I'm discussing the event based trigger also I've shown you. Okay, event. So in the subscription that is already. So this is the storage events. Subscription is this. Storage is block 28. Container is trigger files. Blob path ends with this job 4 underscore completed.txt. Blob created. It may not have any data as we discussed. Okay, it may not have any data. That's why it should not ignore when we don't have any data in this. It should consider. That's why I'm saying ignore. No, don't ignore. Even if this is a empty file. Okay, click continue. Click continue. Click OK. Publish all. Oh shit, lot of things are there. Pipeline name should only contains letters, numbers, dashboards, underscores. Pipeline name where we given. Okay, so this is basically issue with the switch activity. So in the switch activity, you are passing .txt, right? That the .txt will not take. Okay, that's why you just ignore this .txt. When you are ignoring this .txt, you also need to do something in the expression. You understood? When you are removing the .txt from this, you also remove the .txt from this. How to remove the .txt from here? We already discussed that script. The dot
and 0
is the first item. Okay, publish or not. Click publish. Yeah, take some time and try to practice this lab, but this lab will give you a lot of things. Okay, because these are, you can say, like 2 sprints of project. See, project does not mean that you will have hundreds of pipelines. No. So I have delivered a project with 1 or 2 pipelines also. So you are the only developer, you are delivering some pipelines in a sprint. Okay, so this kind of one pipeline they will give. So for entire 2 weeks, 2 weeks they will give you just for this pipeline. See, now I am aware of these things. I just design. When I'm designing this pipeline, I also have just put lot of effort to analyze all these things, and it took basically 1 hour or 2 hours for me also, because you should know which activities will work, which activities will not work. Okay, if until inside for it is not working, how to pass it to other. So when you are passing, you will pass it as a string. You will realize, no, it's a array of child items. You need to change the pipeline parameter data type to array. So all these things, lot of errors I got, and the debugged. I learned this good. Okay, I learned properly. Similarly, now if I did simply directly everything, means I also have done lot of hard work in the background. You need to understand that. Okay, lot of effort I just kept on this particular lab to do all these things. Lab means this is basically I have not done for you. this kind of a projects are delivered in real time. So there I spent a lot of time to analyze all these things I'm saying. So basically in real time they will give you 2 weeks, just easily they will give 2 weeks for this kind of setups, because this is not a easy. Maybe as I'm explaining, you will feel like easy if you understand. If you're not able to understand, you will feel already difficult. If you go through recorded video, you will be able to understand. Okay. Now come to monitor tab. So now let's try to upload job4 underscore completed.txt and we will see what will happen. So multi-dependency trigger file was called. Until activity will call the get. So see, get metadata. It has given the cust4, cust5, cust6, cust8, job1, job2, job4. Okay. So out of which we passed all those files to this pipeline. See, pipeline parameter, we passed this area of files to the sub pipeline. So sub pipeline is called here. You refresh this, you will be able to see that also here. See, file availability check. It is checking. It took all the files. Okay. So it took all the files. See, for each, and switch activity has verified some expression, and it just verified all these things. Switch activity ran multiple times. So append variable. Now you can just see append variable here. You can see nothing here. So append variable just 111 I added, but basically the length was not reached to the 4. That's why the condition is not met. Wait activity is running. Wait activity is running. After 1 minute, what this wait activity will do? Wait activity will be successful. It will call the fail activity. Fail activity means this entire pipeline will be failed. So again, it will come to multi-dependency trigger file. This execute pipeline activity is failed. Again, get metadata will fetch the files, it give it to the execute pipeline activity. Again, it will be called. See, subpipeline is failed. Why subpipeline is failed? Because we have failed it. We intentionally failed it. Again, it called. Why? Again, it called with a. See, again it called. You can see here. So get metadata. It basically failed. So that's why again it called. Okay. Now what I'll do next time, I don't want to get this kind of error. So I'll upload my third file as well. Job3 underscore completed.txt. See, job3 underscore completed.txt is there here. You come here, refresh this. Okay, until activity get method execute pipeline activity, all these things are there. Execute pipeline activity is running. So in this wait activity is about to finish. Once wait activity is finished, it will basically call the fail activity. Fail activity will make this entire pipeline to fail. Again, it will go and fetch the files. After 1 minute, it will go and fetch the files. See, fail activity ran, so it got failed. Again, if you go inside this, so again it called. Again it called. This time you see job1, job2, job3, job4, all the 4 files are available. Now go back to the file availability check. Again it will be called. Third time it called. See, in our case, every 1 minute. That's why these many times job subpipeline is running. Okay, see now. So everything is getting succeeded. The if condition will remains the if condition will be succeeded. That's all. Meaning subpipeline is this time succeeded. You will see. Refresh it. So subpipeline file availability check is succeeded. Data ingestion job also called. Okay, what happens in multi-dependency trigger file? Once the execute pipeline activity is succeeded, set variable condition is set to true, meaning until activity is executed successfully, and it came out and it called the ingestion pipeline. What is ingestion pipeline? See, This ingestion pipeline we call, this ingestion pipeline is basically running, and it will be, I think that is also succeeded. See, ingestion pipeline is succeeded, multi-dependency pipeline also succeeded. 1, 2, 3, these 3 pipelines are now succeeded, which basically copies data into the storage. Okay, any questions? See here, so we have chosen as a JSON format, right? That's why it is writing data in a JSON format. Yes, tell me. So here data ingestion job may be a multiple tables you may be ingesting, not a single table. We have taken single table because if you discuss everything, same repeated stuff again and again, we will not have that much time. That's why I repeated with a single table, but we already discussed metadata driven tables, metadata driven incremental loads, multiple tables loads, all those things, right? So any of that pipeline can be here. Yes, any questions?
Yeah, I pinged in chat.
Yes, Siva. Oh, you pinged in chat window, 1 second. These 2 files are having same name with the 2 different extensions. We have taken split function to take file name dot extension job 1 completed. Okay. It's very good question. Okay. Was very good question. Now what we can do? That's correct. Very good question. Job1 underscore completed .txt, job1 underscore completed .csv. You can upload 2 different extension files. So when you upload 2 different extension files, there will be issue. Exactly. Correct. Okay. So that's why what you may need to do is you may need to do one thing here.
We can put a condition within the switch. Yeah, split equal to or and split this name 0 1 equal to.
Yeah, do one thing. Just split with the .txt only. Otherwise, do one thing. Okay. So here, what you can do is there is a replace function. Replace. So .txt with nothing. Okay. If your .csv, those will go as a .csv only. There will be a problem. Got it?
Yes, yes.
But one thing again, if you have a .txt.
I think split with txt is a good solution.
Split with 1 second. So .txt, if you put only .txt files will be replaced. Whatever .csv, there will be .csv. Those .csv files it will not be able to verify. Okay. So I think this will work. Let's see. Publisher. Okay, clear. Replace what we are doing. .txt file we are replacing with nothing. Then you will have only file name. File name will match. .csv files it will not be able to match with any of these. Okay. Now once this is published, I will re-upload. Very good question. Okay. Job for underscore completed .txt upload. So file is available. Re-upload. Come to monitor tab. You can see all these things will finish in less than a minute. File availability check. See, everything is getting succeeded. See, 4th one also succeeded. You added one, and if condition will be true, now sub pipeline will be succeeded. File availability check is succeeded. So data ingestion job is called already. It is basically copying data. Clear? So you are not getting any issue even if you have a .csv, because .csv files will be ignored. Clear now?
Yeah, or we can add, there is one activity get metadata, or their file ended with .csv or txt over there also, right? You use
That is also you can do. Yeah, very good. Yes. In the get metadata itself, I think you can use the, yeah, you can do all those things. Very good. In the get metadata itself, I think wildcard file path and maybe skip line counter field list. This is a data set. One second, let me open this data set and see. But you don't have anything in the get metadata to use the wildcard file option. No,
maybe
that
under
option is not.
Maybe under data set you should mention.
In get metadata only, it's not there, I'm saying. Where you will mention .txt.
In the data, you selected data set, right?
Yes.
In that data set, just open the data set, and here go
Where?
down, go down. Okay.
No, you don't have.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it will be there when you say, but it's not there. Okay. You can just go like this, no issues. Okay. Any other questions? If you upload .csv file, the count is 5 in this case, pipeline will fail. No. Even if you upload .csv file, it will not be considered. Okay, let me show you, because many people are confusing with these names. So I will upload one .csv file also now. So now you see, I'm uploading these two jobs. Now both are totally different, because .csv files you are not extending. See, .csv is there, .txt is there. Okay. Now pipeline is might be running again, but this time it will not fail at all, because .csv we are ignoring basically. We are just replacing .txt with nothing, and then in that case which activity conditions will be matched. In other cases it will not be matched. See, 1, 2, 3. See, job 3 completed is matched here. Job 2 completed. Job 1 completed .txt is matched. So now you refresh. Job 4 also you might have received. See, job 4 also came. Job, one second. Here. Job 4 underscore completed, you will get it. .csv we are not replacing with anything. So .csv will go as is, and it will not match with any of the switch condition. What it Pandra? This is data ingestion job. Everything is succeeded. That's all. You have an option to check the trigger file starts with like while so no. Trigger file starts with like while search. What it means? Trigger file starts with.
So, Malay, if the requirement is say, they give the job name and they will say, just check if the job file related trigger file is there or not with the date or nothing, just file is there or not. Like starts with.
Same thing we are checking, right? Whether it is a job 1 underscore completed, job 2 underscore completed, doesn't matter. You can just with another names. For each job, you may have a different names. Basically, they'll just summarize those things in real time. But for your question also, you can handle. Even if you have each job name is different, you can able to handle it.
Okay. And can we create a 0 KB file using data factory, Malaya?
Yes,
just
yes.
a touch file.
Okay. First thing is a very good question, because the last time also my team lead and one of the colleague were discussed about 1 hour, 2 hours. They did not come to know what to do for the 0 KB file. I'll tell you simple what you need to do. I'll tell you one second. We asked this, I'll talk about it. Basically, you are not creating the 0 KB file at the runtime. Okay. What you are doing is you put the 0 KB file in some other location, temporary location. From that location, you copy into the main location once your job is completed. But that's how you can able to do. But runtime creating a new file, that and all not possible in ADF. Okay, that is a simple way.
Okay.
You put that.
So we
0 KB
create a storage account with our required 0 KB file name, and then we copy is using copy data.
Copy data activity whenever you want to create that file. Okay, simple, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Malaya,
Hi,
Chinmay
Malaya.
here again.
Yes, Chinmay.
The main intention was, to reduce the pipeline execution, right? So we had 4 jobs earlier. When you started this, we said, okay, we will run 4 times, right? So when the file is uploaded, because it's event based. So when the first file will upload it, then that time the pipeline will execute. Second, again the same pipeline will execute again, right? 4 times it was running, okay. But
See,
the
here,
pipeline takes, just give
wait,
me a
wait,
minute.
wait. I'll
Okay.
answer your question. So don't think that in real time, same job, they are going to same file, they are going to re-upload multiple times. No, they are going to upload file only one time. But in our case, just to show you different example, I'm re-uploading because I need to run the pipeline again and again, because in real time, fourth job will run only one time, that file will be updated.
Yes, I understood. So my point is, right now what is happening, we are actually within the flow, we have only one time we are running the pipeline. We are waiting for 1 minute, 10, maybe 10 minutes, because that file is not arrived, right? Till that time the pipeline will be running actually. So it is overhead for the cost, right? Because you are running, maybe your pipeline will run 1 second or 2 seconds, but since we are executing in one pipeline everything, so it will wait for 20 minutes because there is something wrong with their job and they need to fix it till the time the pipeline will run, right? So it will actually add cost to your ADF, right?
You are waiting for 20 minutes.
Let's say, since the database job will put the file into a blob storage, and then we are, triggering this ADF pipeline, right? So suppose there is something wrong with the job, my pipeline will be still running because it is waiting.
Okay, got you. One second. So if you want like that, you can put, so you just run your pipeline for some time. After that, you can just create a timeout. One second. So if you think, okay, there is a wrong with the file, you wait for some time, and 1 second, in the until activity, where is that settings here? Okay, so example, you realized there might be issue with the job. Okay, you just wait for some 6 hours. Okay, and so what happens, until activity will be wait for 6 hours and it will be stopped. It will not keep running. You can just set the timeout. Is that your question? Because you are keep on waiting as the source job is having issue, that is costly. To avoid that, you can just set the timeout. You just wait for some certain time. This is also important point. Okay, good. Is that your question or something else?
Yes, since something related to that. So I was thinking how to reduce the cost, right, of the ADF.
Reduce the
Because
cost is
anytime,
the only way. The other way is you are using wait activity. Wait activity is not a costly because you are not using any compute. Wait activity will go
okay,
ahead.
that is a good point. Okay, in that case, it's okay. If I wait, when I'm waiting, that time my ADF is not charging me, then it's okay. Then you're good.
Yeah, because we are not, see, main charge will be there when you are doing the copy activity, because lot of data is transferring, right? So that's where it is mainly used the compute. Remaining activities are not, those are not a costly. Those are simply logic checking code.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Malaya, for example, today scheduled job didn't run successfully, but few records got copied to the sync. So when I rerun the pipeline, like failed activity, only failed activity. So if the sync is SQL or SQL or SQL Server or blob, so do we receive the duplicate data or it will override the existing data?
So how to handle such type of scenarios? We will handle them in the data flows. Using ADF, we will not be able to handle such type of scenarios.
Okay.
If we have off data, how we can identify already loaded data into the target? What is the new data? Which is the updated data? How to identify? So those we can do it using data flows. Can't be done using normal activities. Okay.
But usually it will duplicate the data, right? I'm asking about the target.
Yeah, duplicate the data. See, because if your target database is having some kind of a constraints, it will throw error. So duplicate data you're trying to load. If you don't have any constraints, it will just copy data into the target table. Target table will have the duplicate data. Yes. What happens is duplicates will come. To avoid that, we need to handle them in the data flows.
In blob and both the storages, right? SQL Server and blob, both the storages. We will get the duplicate data, right?
Duplicate data will be there in only in your sync.
Yeah, in sync only. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Shiva, 6 hours it will continuously running. Okay, but not copy activity. See, copy activity will use compute. Remaining activities will not use much compute. That is not that much costly. Okay, any other questions?
And one more thing, Mali, yesterday I asked, right, the timeout issue. How can we resolve that?
First thing I'll tell you. So many of you should know one thing. Let me stop the recording.